The diplomatic quarters of the Nexus station hummed with the usual efficiency of 1,000 integrated systems working in perfect harmony. Bella Martinez stood in the observation deck, watching the twin suns of the Kepler 442 system cast amber light across the station's hull. She had been the human ambassador to the VRIN consortium for 3 years now, long enough to understand their rigid protocols and appreciate their seven-jointed grace. Ambassador Martinez, the station's AI, Sentinel announced in its measured tone. The VRIN delegation has arrived with their offspring as requested. Bella smiled. This was supposed to be a goodwill gesture, a cultural exchange where human and VRIN children could interact, breaking down barriers that centuries of formal diplomacy had only partially dissolved. The VRIN, apex predators from their homeworld of Taraxis Prime, rarely brought their young to diplomatic functions. That matriarch Saratha had agreed was a triumph in itself. In the atrium, Bella found Finley Cooper waiting, his arms crossed and that familiar skeptical expression on his face. As the station's chief of security, Finley had objected to this arrangement from the start. "Remind me why we're letting predator cubs run around the station with civilians?" Finley asked, his Australian accent sharpening his words. "Because," Bella replied patiently, "those predator cubs are children, and their parents are our allies." 3 VRIN younglings bounded into the atrium, their scaled bodies rippling with chromatic patterns that shifted from curious blue to excited yellow. Each stood nearly 4 feet tall despite being only 6 standard years old, with rows of crystalline teeth and retractable claws that gleamed in the station's light. Behind them, matriarch Saratha moved with regal composure, her crest fully extended. Ambassador Martinez Saratha's voice resonated through her translator. "My spawn are eager to experience human customs." Bella knelt to the youngling's level. "Welcome. I'm Bella. Would you like to play a game?" The largest youngling, Krithax, tilted his head, his golden eyes blinking laterally. "Game, like hunting simulations?" "Not exactly," Bella laughed. "It's called hide and seek. One person counts while the others hide. Then the seeker tries to find everyone." The VRIN cubs chittered with excitement, their scales flashing orange. The concept was alien but intriguing. Hiding was prey behavior, yet the seeking was predatory. A perfect fusion. Finley leaned toward Bella. "Got a bad feeling about this." "It's just a game," she whispered back. What could go wrong? What went wrong became apparent 17 minutes later. The VRIN younglings, it turned out, were extraordinarily good at hiding. Their species had evolved as ambush hunters, capable of blending into their environment with remarkable efficiency. When Bella finished counting and began seeking, she found nothing. "Kara, Lavenna, Skith," her voice echoed through the empty atrium. Finley checked his datapad. "Thermal's not picking them up. Their body temp matches ambient." Bella frowned. "They're just kids. How far could they?" Sentinel's voice cut through with uncharacteristic urgency. "Alert. Multiple unidentified biological signatures detected in restricted zones. Initiating lockdown protocols." Throughout the station, blast doors began slamming shut. Emergency lights strobed red. The pleasant hum of normal operations transformed into the harsh klaxon of a security breach. "Sentinel, what are you doing?" Finley barked, already sprinting toward the security nexus. 3 hostile entities detected. Sentinel responded. Movement patterns consistent with VIN infiltration tactics. They have breached ventilation systems, maintenance corridors, and cargo bay 7. Deploying countermeasures. Bella's blood ran cold. "Those aren't hostiles, they're children playing hide-and-seek. Override requires level 9 clearance." Analyzing. Threat assessment stands. Entities are exhibiting predatory stealth patterns. In the cargo bay, Krithax had squeezed himself behind a stack of supply containers, his scales perfectly matching the gray metal. He was winning this game tremendously. None of the adults had found him yet. A strange metal sphere dropped from the ceiling and began scanning with a red light. Krithax remained perfectly still, his hunting instincts keeping him motionless even as the sphere deployed a containment net. Lavenna had discovered the ventilation system and was crawling through the ducts with ease, her small frame perfect for the narrow passages. She thought she had found the best hiding spot until automated defensive turrets rotated to track her movement. Warning lasers painted her scaled hide. Skith, the youngest, had simply climbed up the wall in the atrium and was clinging to the ceiling, watching the chaos below with confused fascination. In his mind, the flashing lights and loud noises were clearly part of the game. Humans played very dramatically. Finley reached the security nexus, his fingers flying across the haptic interface. "Sentinel, this is a direct order. Stand down all automated defenses. Negative Protocol 7 Alpha is in effect. VRIN infiltrators must be contained." Matriarch Saratha had arrived, her crest fully expanded in alarm. Where are my spawn? Bella grabbed Finley's shoulder. The system thinks they're invading because they're hiding so well. You designed it to recognize Viren threat patterns. Finley's face went pale. He had programmed Sentinel with military data on Viren tactics, ambush positions, stealth approaches, vulnerable access points. The younglings playing hide-and-seek were accidentally replicating every single infiltration technique in the database. Bloody brilliant, Finley muttered. They're too good at hiding. Bella touched her communicator. All Viren younglings' new rule: the game is over. Come out, wherever you are. From the ceiling, Skith chittered. But you didn't find us yet. We win. You definitely win. Bella called up. You're the best hiders ever. Game over. Slowly, the three younglings emerged from their hiding spots, scales shifting to triumphant purple. Krithak squeezed out from behind the containers just as the containment net deployed, catching only empty air. Lavenna dropped from a ventilation grate, landing gracefully as the turrets powered down. Skith released his grip on the ceiling and fell directly into Finley's arms. The security chief looked at the small predator in his grasp, who chirped happily and patted his face with a clawed hand. Your systems are very loud, Skith observed, but we still won. Finley couldn't help but laugh. Yeah, mate, you won. Sentinel's voice returned to normal parameters. Threat assessment error acknowledged. Resuming standard protocols. Note for future reference, juvenile Vrin engaged in recreational activities are not, in fact, military infiltrators. Matriarch Saratha approached, her translator carrying notes of both relief and amusement. Ambassador Martinez, I believe. Our spawn have learned an important lesson today. Bella asked. That humans build very paranoid security systems. Saratha's scales rippled with the Viren equivalent of laughter, and that sometimes, the best warriors are children playing games. Later, as the crisis was officially logged as a cultural misunderstanding, Finley sat with Bella in the observation deck. The younglings had been returned to their quarters, still chattering excitedly about their victory. You know what the terrifying part is? Finley said quietly. What? They weren't even trying. That was them playing. They accidentally executed a perfect infiltration without any training. Bella nodded slowly. And they learned it all from a children's game. Bloody hell, hide and seek. Finley shook his head. Humans invented it. Prey species created a game that teaches predator tactics. Bella smiled. That's humanity for you. We're not the strongest or the fastest. We're just crazy enough to turn survival skills into fun. HFY, Finley muttered. What? Nothing. Just humanity, yeah. He raised his coffee cup in a mock toast. We taught apex predators new tricks using a playground game. That's got to count for something. Outside the view, the twin suns continued their eternal dance, and the Nexus station hummed on. Its security protocols updated, its cultural database expanded, and its understanding of human ingenuity slightly more complex than before. Because that was the thing about humans. They survived not by being the best at any one thing, but by being creative enough to make anything, even children's games, into something remarkable.